What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. In today's video, we're going to be doing a video that I've been getting actually a lot of questions about this particular topic. I've actually been received this question many times throughout many months, especially since around the anniversary when a lot of people were getting into the game, or a lot more people were, getting more invested in One Piece Treasure Cruise, and that is relating to legend characters. And it gets to a point where you amass a lot of legend characters on your account, and then you start pulling lots of duplicates of characters. Now, obviously, the main thing to do with dupes is to, number one, use them for limit break, or number two, use them for the Rayleigh shop so you can get Rayleigh points. However, there does come a point where you may want to use your duplicate characters as unevolved characters in some very specific content, and that is the question that we're going to be answering in this video today, relating to what are the best characters, or the best legend characters in One Piece Treasure Cruise that you can keep unevolved to use for like cost restrictive content, or maybe that they have differing versions compared to their 6-star plus version. So that's what I want to get to in today's video. We're not going to go through every single legend in the game, but we're just going to go through the legends from start to finish, and I'm going to point out the ones that you guys really should be looking forward to, and the ones that you should be keeping unevolved, or maybe having a different one for their 6+ variation. So starting off here, we got Whitebeard, and no one on this first page really is that notable here. The second page here, this is a character that I want to talk about really quick, which is version 1 Crocodile. Now, this is a character that was released a long time ago, and he does have a 6-star plus, and that's the main reason why you might want to keep a 6-star version and a 6-star plus version. They both do very similar things. They are both cerebral type boosters. You have Crocodile here, the Dex version, which is the 6-star version, who is a cerebral striker character and is a Dex unit, and he provides a 2x attack boost to your cerebral characters if you're below 30% when you activate the special. Now, the difference between him and his 6-star version, or 6-star plus version, is the fact that he's no longer a striker character. They changed him into a driven unit and also made him a strength unit, so his color and his glasses did actually change. So that is something that you guys need to know about that, and that is a reason, because one specific circumstance in which you would prefer to have the regular 6-star version over the Super Evolution would be for version 1 Katakuri, because version 1 Katakuri obviously does not boost driven, and the fact that Katakuri himself is already a strength character, having another strength character on the team really isn't that optimal, depending on the content that you're going up against, of course. But in a lot of circumstances, it doesn't really matter nowadays, because there are so many different cerebral type boosters. Like, obviously the quick Valentine's Nami is probably just a better unit to use overall, but the 6-star plus Crocodile is still pretty good because he provides the cerebral attack boost as well as a 20% health cut. That is kind of useful. But that's just what I wanted to talk about, because they are different, and I personally do own an unevolved and a 6-star plus version of this Crocodile, so I wanted to give you guys the information about that one. The rest of these characters are pretty average. Obviously 6-star plus version 1 lore is fantastic. You can definitely keep an unevolved one, but it's not really needed in a lot of different circumstances. Next page, we have these characters here. Shirahoshi an interesting one, because you could definitely use her unevolved version in cost restrictive content for a pretty significant heal and giving you the full board of rainbow orbs, which is nice, but again, not something that is needed. You could use her technically as a zombie-ish captain unevolved if you did really want to, but again, not really needed. NL is an interesting one. Obviously NL has a 6-star plus, and he's one of the best 6-star units in the game, considering how old he is and how good he still is. NL is pretty awesome. However, his unevolved version does have some uses. His unevolved version could definitely still be used as a captain to beat content that is cost restrictive, so it is dependent on your crew cost, and the fact that you can't bring characters over a certain cost, where you would want to bring someone that is an unevolved legend. We've seen in different circumstances where an unevolved legend NL is able to beat content because of how his special works. Obviously, you can still deal 2 million damage with his special ability once it's fully charged. It is difficult to do so, but it is an option for you guys out there. Though nowadays, as content is getting more difficult, cost restrictive content is getting more difficult when it does get released, and NL really doesn't help you out all that much. Not even for ranking missions either. This isn't really going to help you out that much either. This one is an interesting one though. We've got V2 Lore. Obviously, his V2 Lore has a 6+, and V2 Lore 6+, and the regular 6-star version are both different characters in the fact that the 6-star Plus boosts Cerebral characters, and the 6-star version boosts Striker characters, and they both are 2.25 times orb boosters for their said class. So this is definitely a character you would want to have 2 different copies for, one for the Super Evolution and one for the regular evolution. Pretty self-explanatory. One that I actually just skipped past that I realized was Magellan. Same reasons for NL in the fact that his unevolved version could be used for cost-restrictive content, but at the end of the day, he's not that strong. He does provide health cuts. He does still provide toxic. So if you're up against like the Neo Colosseums where they had the 0 staminas, something like that would be used. You could use Magellan for that, I guess, but still, for the ranking missions, it's not going to really help you. But you know, it's just an option. Saying once again, this character here, version 2 Lucci, is in a very similar circumstance as version 2 Law, with the fact that he has his regular version, this guy right here, as a powerhouse related unit. With his captain effect, and his special ability provides matching orbs to powerhouse characters, but his super evolution is slightly different, boosting shooter characters instead. He definitely has a far superior captain effect in terms of multipliers and the amount of damage output that you can get, but his special ability no longer provides matching orbs, but it provides a color affinity boost to shooter characters, and it's a 2 times color affinity boost as well, and also reduces paralysis. So again, this is definitely a character that I would suggest you guys to have an unevolved and a fully evolved 6+ and 6-star form of this character. Now we're going to be moving on to characters that are kind of like really good for the ranking missions. You know, the ranking missions where you can't bring units above 50 cost, and you would ideally like to have unevolved legends to help you get that really high damage that you need to achieve. You know, over 10 million damage is quite difficult to achieve with regular rare recruits, so definitely these unevolved legends will help out significantly for that. Lucy is still a very solid choice because unevolved, he is still, well, that's something that, you know, this is with every legend, right? Every single legend as an unevolved unit has the exact same captain effect as their fully evolved version. Now that is really nice because even though this character is very weak, look at his stats, it's not even 800 attack at max level for unevolved Lucy, but he's still a 3.71 times captain effect, which is going to help out so much, as a lot of rare recruits are never going to reach 3.7 times multiplier. So, you know, still having this guy as a captain and still a 1.75 times type boost to 3 separate colors is going to help out in a lot of different ranking missions. Same thing for Judge, well, sort of with Judge. You can definitely use Judge as an unevolved unit for ranking missions because his special ability is a universal 2 times orb boost, which is nice to have. But this is one where I would suggest once again to have an unevolved 6-star version and a 6-star plus variation, as they both have differing effects. The Super Evolution is actually a type booster for, I believe it's fighter driven, and I think it's powerhouse, I don't remember exactly, but 6-star plus version and 6-star version of Judge, both very nice to have. Moving on to the next page. V2 Fujitora really isn't that great. V2 Rally is another really good one to have for the ranking missions, as his special ability is so powerful to have. He provides 200,000 fixed damage, which is kind of annoying for the ranking missions. You don't typically want to be bringing characters that deal damage to the enemy if you're using him for ranking missions, but what he provides is so goddamn good. He allows you to get a 3 times chain lock and a 1.75 times orb boost, and then you could bring characters that bring you to a lower HP threshold so that you could get really nice orb manipulation, because a lot of those ranking missions do give you really annoying orbs, like they'll give you a full board of block orbs. So having a character like this that can change them into matching, give you an orb boost and a chain lock is awesome. And also, if you are in that situation where you bring characters that reduce your health, he's a 3.5 times universal attack boosting captain at that stage as well. So Rayleigh is a very nice character to keep as an unevolved 5-star Sugo Fest exclusive character. Once again, moving on with more ranking mission stuff, we have Legend Frankie, who is still very, very good. He has a great captain effect of his captain action as well. He's a universal attack booster as long as you have those said classes, of course. And also his special ability is a 2 times attack boost to 4 separate classes, and it's very, very easy to fulfill, as well as removing those block orbs. Very similar to Rayleigh, allows you to get rid of those block orbs. He does provide a 10% health cut, which isn't always useful, but the fact that you have this unevolved Frankie, I remember, I think it was the Akainu ranking mission, where if you used a certain special ability, he would blow away your character. So you could use this guy as your captain, get the captain action, become General Frankie, and then when you use the special abilities, he can't blow away your characters. So that was like one of the ranking missions where Frankie was legitimately the best character for that mission. And I think that he's going to be useful for future cost-restrictive ranking missions in the future. Nico Robin isn't a terrible choice either to keep as an unevolved Sugo Fest exclusive character, as her special ability provides complete damage nullification for 1 turn. Now that wouldn't be great for cost restrictive ranking missions, but if you have a mission where you could only bring characters that are 50 cost or lower and it's really difficult with really high level bosses, this wouldn't be a terrible character to have, as it allows you to just tank all the damage that you really can. And also a 3.25 attack boost to Cerebral isn't that terrible either. So I think Legend Robin is still a pretty good choice. Moving on now, Luffy and Ace. This is pretty self-explanatory. Amazing captain effect of a 4.25 attack to Free Spirit, and he provides a 2x orb boost to your entire team, orb manipulation, and also becomes the dual unit as well, which is pretty awesome. And he also has the switching effect you can activate before you become the dual unit. So pretty self-explanatory. Luffy and Ace is one of the best dual units to one of the best characters in general to keep as an unevolved character. And talking about one of the best characters to keep unevolved, version 2 Shanks. Now the thing about Shanks that makes him so good is he's so versatile, and you can run him in so many teams. You can build so many teams around this guy, and he himself will allow you to beat the cost restrictive ranking missions literally by himself, as long as you have obviously the supporting rare recruits or other, you know, free-to-play characters that help you out in damage output. This guy is freaking awesome to have, as he provides a 3.5 times attack boost to your team. You could run literally double Shanks captains, and then the rest of your team be one separate color to take on the boss, and you're good, as he provides that color specifically that you have on your team as a majority, a 2.25 times attack boost with a 0.9 chain boost. And he provides the matching orbs as well that gets rid of the block orbs. This guy is probably the best unevolved legend that you could keep on your account. I know a lot of people would be tempted to feed Dupe legends for Limit Break to get them to their rainbow, but I gotta say, if you pull an unevolved Shanks, do not feed him. He is the most useful unevolved legend. In that same vein of V2 Shanks, we have V2 Sokka Suki and V2 Kuzan, both very similar in their effects, where we have Akainu being a 2.25 orb booster to strength and int, as well as giving you a full board of strength or int orbs that gets rid of block. And then, as I said before, very similar with Kuzan, does the same sort of thing in his unevolved state. He provides the 2.25 times attack boost to Quicken Sai and gives you Quicken Sai orbs. And of course, both of them have a really, really great captain effect as well. So both of those guys are fantastic. Now, Monkey D. Luffy Gear 4, this is again another character that is good for not only to have a 6-star version and a 6-star plus, because we know this guy's going to become Tank Man, the other one is Snake Man, but definitely keep him as just an unevolved character as well. So I guess technically you want to try and get your hands on 3 copies of this guy, as an unevolved Gear 4 is still very good because his special ability provides very good amount of damage, a 2 times universal attack boost to your entire team, and recovery in tandem are beneficial to all characters for 3 turns. Honestly, one of the best sub-units you could possibly have on your team. A universal attack boost for 2 times. You can't ask for much more than that. He's fantastic. Now, looking at this page right here, I'd say just about every single character on this page I would probably want to have an unevolved copy of. Aside from V1 Katakuri isn't really that great unevolved. Wako, you know, Wako, for how good he is, unevolved, he really won't help you that much, unless if there is a mission that is relating to like a Neo Coliseum, like a 0 stamina Neo Coliseum, where you need to go back and forth switching to stall a lot on those stages. But they aren't very common, and for cost restrictive ranking, he's not that good, because he, with his special, he cuts the enemy's HP by 30%. Now, damaging specials don't add towards your total damage for the ranking, so you don't really need this. Health recovery doesn't help either for cost restrictive ranking, but the orb manipulation might come into play. But overall, there's just so many better characters compared to this guy that will help you out a lot more. So for how good Wako is, I just don't think that he really needs to be kept as an unevolved copy. If you do have an unevolved copy, cool, you can keep it, obviously, but compared to some of the other legends, definitely not needed. Shiki unevolved really isn't that great either. He doesn't help out too much. Big Mom doesn't really help out either. But the rest of these, like Nami, she's a great orb booster and color affinity booster. Definitely want to have an unevolved copy for ranking missions. Tesoro, 3.25 times chain lock, as well as 4 guaranteed matching orbs fantastic. V2 Sanji, a 2.25 times fighter booster, amazing. You've got Brook. His special ability is obscene, bro. He does recovery, he reduces damage, he makes your type orbs beneficial for 2 turns. He will go ahead and instantly kill enemies if they're below a threshold. So for the really difficult missions with cost restrictive ranking, that's going to be nice as well. And also will instantly defeat enemies. So again, this guy's going to be really great for cost restrictive difficult content. That's what he's going to be really great for. But for the ranking missions specifically, probably not that great overall. And then the last 2 characters, we have Legend Garb. Legend Garb is awesome, but I would probably only recommend Legend Garb as an unevolved if like you're using a cost restrictive ranking mission event and they have a barrier, because he does a 30% health cut, and as I said before with Wako, you don't want to deal damage to the enemy. But if they have a barrier, use this guy and he guarantees you a 3 times chain lock, so that's really, really nice to have. And then Jinbei as well. Jinbei's pretty nice, but once again does provide a health cut, which is annoying for the ranking missions, but he gives you a 1.75 times type boost to 3 separate colors, and depending on what team you have, you could organize your team in a way to get that 2.25 times attack boost either way. So yeah, a lot of characters on this screen here are great to have unevolved. And then we're moving on to you know, the end of where global is right now, and also the stuff with Japan. Capone is still really great, a 2 times shooter attack boosting special ability. So yes, I do think that Capone is a very, very good character to have unevolved. Legend Zephyr isn't that great unless if the enemy, similar to Garb, has a barrier, because he again is a 30% health cutter and also will give you additional tap timing bonus damage and give you matching orbs. So if the enemy has a barrier, this is going to be great. If not, he's probably not going to be that optimal for your teams. Carrot, I mean, specifically with Carrot, I think she's still very, very good to have as an unevolved. She's actually fantastic, as the captain ability will stay the same, so she's still going to provide a 4 times attack boost to your team. You still can go through barriers, and she also provides a 2 times orb boosting effect with beneficial orb enable as well. Carrot is a fantastic unevolved legend to have. V2 Katakuri, he's not going to be great for the ranking mission specifically because his special does damage, but he is going to be good for the high difficulty cost restrictive content. And then moving on to V3 Sabo. V3 Sabo is again one of the best characters to keep unevolved, because Sabo has a 2.25 times orb boost to 3 separate classes, as well as a 3 times chain lock. So yeah, I think Sabo is a fantastic choice. But I guess about that, I think we're about at the end. Well, we have these 2 characters here that are on global. Kung Fu Luffy. Kung Fu Luffy does damage, which isn't great for the ranking missions, but he gives you matching orbs and a universal type boost, so that is still very, very good. And Whitebeard, the same vein, he does damage, he's a chain booster, and he's an attack boost to 2 separate classes. So you can see the theme here. Typically, if a character provides a massive boost, or guarantees you some orbs and has a really good captain effect, those are the type of characters that you want to be keeping as unevolved characters, as they will help with your ranking missions that allow you to build teams that can deal over 10, 15, 20 million damage, allow you to get those high rewards. And you know, it doesn't happen that often, but whenever we get the cost restrictive difficult content, like as I said with Neo Colosseums, some of these legends are going to be very significant for that. Obviously, to make it easier for you, you'd probably want to be running zombie based teams with NL or Magellan as your captain, or even Legend Brook for that matter as well. But you definitely could run someone like Legend Wako as a captain. Wako could provide some nice stalling opportunities. But overall, I definitely think that in terms of unevolved legends, you want to be keeping the ones that provide huge boosts with their special ability. So typically, if they have an amazing special ability, those are the ones you really want to be keeping. But anyways, that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully you guys learned something in this video about the type of legends you want to be keeping as unevolved on your account. So obviously you don't want to be pulling dupe legends that often, but if you do end up pulling dupes, hopefully they can be useful in other pieces of content. But anyways, I really hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and if you guys have enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.